Good afternoon, Sean. Are you there?
Yeah, miss.
All right, let us get started while we. So this is taken from July 2021. The diagram below shows two lines, L1 and L2. The equation of L1 is x plus 2y is equal to 10. And the equation of L2, well, didn't say anything about the equation, but the line L2 passes through the point 0, 5, and it is perpendicular. So that was the information given. Express the equation L1 in the form y equal. So this is the equation x plus 2y is equal to 10. We need to rewrite this as y equal. So the first thing I'm going to move is the x. So on one side of the equation, x is positive. So when I move it to the other side, it becomes negative. So I have 2y. The question didn't ask me for 2y. The question asked for 1y. So I need to divide each term by 2. So this is y equal to negative a half x plus 5. Did you all get anything close to that? Did you all get anything close to that? So the aim and the objective of this question was to make y the subject. Make y the subject by performing the opposite operations. The next question, state the gradient of L1. Well, the line is y equal to negative a half x plus 5. This here is my gradient. So therefore, m is equal to negative a half.
M is the gradient.
M is the gradient, yes. Hence, determine the equation of L2. Now, watch the two lines. If I highlight this, this is L2, and this one in purple is L1. The two equations meet at a right angle, which is 90 degrees. So therefore, the equation, the gradient here is negative a half. And the gradient for this line, M2, we simply flip the fraction and change the sign. We simply flip the fraction and change the sign. So this becomes negative a half over, and this is 2. So the gradient of L2 is equal to 2. And we have a coordinate 0, minus 5. So m is equal to 2, and the coordinate 0, minus 5. This is my x and y. Y is equal to mx plus c. So wherever I see y, I'm going to replace it with negative 5. Wherever I see m, I'm going to replace it with 2, and x is 0. Any number multiplied by 0 is 0. So therefore, c is 5. So rewriting the equation in the form y equal to mx plus c, my equation y is equal to 2x minus 5. And here I would have scored 2 marks. All right, let's go. Given that f of x is 1/3 x plus 4, find the value of f of 9. So f of x is the function 1/3 x plus 4. I want to find f of 9. I am simply going to replace my x variable with a number. 1/3 stays the same. Positive 4 stays the same. The only thing that is changing is my variable, which is x. So 1/3 of 9 is 3. So 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. And that was worth 1 mark. So there was nothing difficult here. All you do is replace x with 9. So wherever you see x in the equation, you replace it with a number. Now, f of g of x is called a composite function. And if you notice, it is worth 2 marks. So which means you have to do 2 parts to get that 2 marks. So f of g of -3. So step 1, work out g of -3. So the g of x function is 3x over x plus 1. So wherever you see x, you are simply going to replace it with -3. So 3 by -3 and -3 plus 1. So 3 by -3, -9, and -3 plus 1 will give me -2. This is going to cancel. So g of -3 is 9 over 2. So that would give you 1 mark. You found g of -3. Step 2. So this part you worked out already. So this part is worth 1 mark, and this answer is 9 over 2. So now you have to put that into the f function because it is a composite function made up of 2 functions. So you work the first part, which is the g of -3, and now you replace that with your answer 9 over 2. So you have to work out f of 9 over 2. And the f function is equal to 1/3 x plus 4. So f of 9 over 2. So take a minute and take it down and replace now x with 9 over 2. So go ahead. The question is worth 2 marks, so you have to do 2 sets of working. Are you all finished writing? Is anyone still writing?
No S.
All right. So 1/3 stays the same, plus 4 stays the same. The only thing that changes, I am replacing x with 9/2. So that is what you are supposed to have. This is a fraction. We are multiplying one fraction by the other. So 1/9/3/2 plus 4. So this is 9/6 plus 4. We can reduce this to 3/2, which is 1.5 plus 4. So the answer here is 5.5. All right. So take a minute if you didn't get it and take down the answer, and we'll go to the last part of this question. So at the end of today's class, when we are finished with the relations and function aspect of the CSEC paper, question 4, you all are supposed to get the hang of the relations and functions. And I do urge you to try the questions before coming to class. All right, let's go. The question says, determine a value for x for which g of x is equal to 5/2. Well, how am I going to solve that? I have g of x, and in my question, g of x is this function here. So I am going to replace g of x with the function. So 3x over x plus 1 is equal to 5/2. So don't get discouraged. This is simply solving for x. How do I work this? Well, I cross opposite ends of the diagonal. I multiply 3x by 2, and then I multiply 5 by x plus 1. It's just a matter of multiplication now. 3 2s are 6x is equal to 5 is being multiplied by x first plus 5 by 1. This is 6x is equal to 5x plus 5. I need to move all the like terms to one side of the equation. Since 6x is larger than 5x and it is positive on my left-hand side, I will remove the 5x. In moving the 5x, it cannot stay positive. It will change to negative. So therefore, 6x minus 5x, 1x is equal to 5. So it wasn't too difficult. It was just a matter of using the distributive law to solve the question. All right. So let me pause here in case you want to take down anything on the screen, and we move to January 2021. This is the relation, functions, and graphs. It comes in question 4 and question 8 of the CSEC past paper. All right, remember our aim and our goal is to at least get 5 marks per question, right? Now this one wasn't too bad. The function f is defined as, meaning they tell you what the f of x is. So you multiply x by 2, by -2, and you add 3. That is how the function is. So they gave you values for 0, 1, and 2, and you have to find a. So f of x is defined as 3 minus 2x. They want you to find f of minus 1. The constants, which are the numbers, they stay the same. The only thing that changes is my value for x. Instead of x, I am going to put -1. So this makes it a little bit complicated because I have a negative here and a negative. Two negatives are going to multiply to form a positive. So this is 3 plus 2, which is equal to 5. Did you all get that? Did anybody get that?
Yeah, miss.
We want to get the inverse. And you see that is only 1 mark. So here what? It's only 1 mark for that. So I'm going to show you how to get the inverse. So f of x. So we start off with x. 3 minus 2x. We start off with x. Or no, let's start off with 3. We start off with the number 3. Right? Then I am going to multiply. All right, just we start off with x. X multiplied by -2 is going to give me -2x. So I have this term here. I need to add 3. So to this, I am going to add 3. So my final answer here is going to be 3 minus 2x. So that is my f of x. Now, I want to find the inverse. So I am going to perform the opposite operations, right? So if I start off with x, the opposite of add 3 is minus 3, or subtract 3. Here I will have x minus 3, and the opposite of multiply by -2 is divide by -2. So this is going to be x minus 3 divided by -2. So I'm going to divide each term by -2. So x over -2 minus 3 over -2. So this is going to cancel, and I will get 3 minus x over 2. So that is one way of working it out. The next way, let y be equal to f of x. So y is equal to 3 minus 2x. Then I interchange x and y. So wherever I see y, I am replacing it with x. And wherever I see x, I am replacing it with y. Right? Then I am going to make y, or I am going to make y the subject. So let me see. So I have 2y is equal to 3 minus x. I divide both sides by 2. So y is equal to 3 minus x over 2. This means f inverse of x is equal to 3 minus x over 2. So there are two ways of working out this. We can do it using that flow diagram, or we can let y be equal to x. The important thing is for us to perform the opposite operation. The important thing is for us to perform the opposite operation. So the opposite of minus is plus, the opposite of multiply is divide, right? So take down whichever one you want on the screen and let's go to the composite function. I prefer the flow diagram. If you all want to use the let y be equal to f of x, it is all fine and well. So 1 mark, if you use the flow diagram, you'd have been able to get it without any interchanging the x and y. So the composite function f squared. F squared is called a composite function. It is f of x. So we write the function f of x, which is 3 minus 2x. Wherever we see x, we are going to make a substitution. What are we going to substitute it? We are going to substitute with my whole f of x function. So the 3 stays the same, the negative 2 stays the same, and in place of the x, I am going to substitute the entire function, 3 minus 2x. Then I am going to multiply each term inside the bracket by negative 2. So this will give me 3 plus negative 2 by 3 plus negative 2 by negative 2x. This will give me 3 minus 6 plus 4x. Here I will get 4x minus 3. So I have taken my f of x function and put it back into my f function. How am I going to replace it? I am going to replace it with the x. That is the only point of substitution. The constants stay the same and you can only substitute for the variable x. State the value f of f inverse of negative 2. So we have to work out. So step 1, work out f inverse of negative 2. So you are going to do it. The function f inverse is 3 minus x over 2. So work out that for me first.
Afternoon, miss.
Yeah.
Sorry for joining a little late, miss. I now reach home.
All right, no problem, Akash.
Yes.
All right. So we write in the 3 and we write in the 2. That's staying the same, that don't change. We keep in our negative and in place of the x, we replace it with negative 2. So 2 negatives are going to combine and form a plus. So this will give me 5 over 2. So that was my step 1. So step 2 now, work out. So we did this part. And this part gave me 5 over 2. So now I have to find f of 5 over 2. And the f of x function is (3 minus 2x). So work that out. Wherever you see x, replace it with 5 over 2 and see what you get. All right, so the 3 stays the same, the -2 stays the same, and the x is replaced with 5 over 2. So here I will get 3 minus 5, which is -2. So whenever we have composite functions, we need to break it down into 2 parts. We work out the part closest to the number first, and then when we get that answer, we put it back into the first function. All right? Now this question, using a ruler, draw lines x equal to a half. X equal to a half means that is a vertical line passing through a half. So here is a half, and x equal to a half is a vertical line passing through a half. So you all were supposed to get that. That wasn't too bad. That is the first part, x equal to a half. The next line, y equal to x. So for whatever x value we have, x and y is the same. So if x is 1, y is 1. If x is 2, y is 2. If x is 3, y is 3. If x is 4, y is 4. If x is 5, y is 5. Right? If x is 6, y is 6. So this is a straight line passing through these points here. This one was on top. So notice the lines passes through the same x and y coordinate. So we have that. So it's 3 marks, you're getting 1 mark per line. The next one, x plus y equal to 5. You need to rewrite this as y equal. So y equal to 5 minus x. And we need 2 points to draw the line. So substitute x equal to 0. Therefore, y is 5 minus 0, which is 5. So we have 1 point, 0, 5. So let's find 0, 5. 0, 5, this is 1 point on the line. So we need to get another point. Let us substitute y equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 5 minus x. X is equal to 5. So this is my second point. So here I have my 3 lines, and I would have scored 3 marks. That wasn't too bad. The question goes on to say, on the grid, label the region where x is greater than a half. So x is greater than a half. So we want everything from this line go onward, right? Then we want y greater than x. So y greater than x is this region here. And then we want x plus y less than or equal to 5. So everything from this line go back. And here, this is my common region, R. So this is the linear programming. And that, I believe, was worth 1 mark because you just had to find the common region between those lines. After I am finished with the question, you all have to go on Google Classroom and redo the questions by yourself and check the answers. On a weekly basis, I post an answer sheet and I post the question for you all. So you can go back and check it and check the answers, all right? Let's go. January 2020. The function f is defined such that f of x is equal to 2x plus 7. So we are going to do this one together. We want to find f of 4 and f of minus 4. So we're going to do this one together. So f of x is 2x plus 7 over 5. I want you to find f of 4 and find f of minus 4. So the 2 stays the same, the 7 stays the same, and the 5. The only thing that is changing is the value of x. The 2 stays the same, the 7 stays the same, and the 5 stays the same. So take a minute and work out f of 4 and f of negative 4. All right, so we are supposed to replace x with 4. So 4 2s are 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 divided by 5 will give me 3. So f of 4 is 3. F of negative 4, negative 4 by 2, negative 8 plus 7 over 5. This will give me negative 1/5. minus 1/5, the answer is 2 4/5. So this was just a matter of simple substitution. Hence, or otherwise, determine the value of f inverse of 9. So we're starting off just like what we did just now. Our f of x function, we're starting off with x. Then we will want to multiply x by 2. So multiply by 2, we will get 2x. Then we have to add 7. We have 2x plus 7. Then we divide by 5. So here we will get our f of x function 2x plus 7 minus 5. For our inverse is the opposite. We start off with x. The opposite of divide by 5 is multiply by 5. So here I will get 5x. The opposite of add 7 is minus 7. So I will get 5x minus 7. And the opposite of multiply by 2 is divide by 2. So my inverse function is 5x minus 7 over 2. So f inverse of x is 5x minus 7 over 2. Find for me now f inverse of 9. So go ahead. Find for me f inverse of 9. Wherever you see x, you simply replace it with 9. The 5, negative 7, and 2 remain the same. So you are supposed to get 9 by 5, 45, minus 7 over 2, which is 19. Did anybody get that? Did any one of you all get 19?
Yes, miss.
All right, very good. Calculate the value of x for which f of x is 9. So we need to replace f of x with the function 2x plus 7 over 5 is equal to 9 over 1. We are going to cross multiply and solve for x. So 2x plus 7 is equal to 45. Cross multiply. So work out that for me and see what answer you get. All right. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to move the positive 7. So this becomes negative 7. So this is 2x is equal to 38, x is equal to 19. The x value is 19. So when you get a chance before our next class, I urge you to try the questions on your own as many times until you get the hang of it, right? Part B, determine the equation of L1. So this is the line here. And to find the equation, we need 2 points. The points that they give you are 0, 4, and 0, 2. So the formula for gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I need to label my points. So I don't get confused, I'm going to label them x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 is 2, y1, 0, x2, 0, x1, 4. So this will give me 2 over negative 4, which is negative a half. So that is the first part. We have the gradient, which is negative a half. So substitute m, which is the gradient, as negative a half, and we're going to use the point 40. So I am going to use the point 40, and when I'm finished, you are going to use the point 0 minus 2 to see if you get the same answer. So follow along with me. Y equal to mx plus c. Y is 0, m is negative a half, x is 4. This is negative 2. So 0 is negative 2 plus c. If we transfer this to the side, c is equal to 2. So my equation of the line, I am leaving y and x because that can take any value. And I am putting in the value of m, that doesn't change, negative a half, and I'm putting in the value of the constant. Now watch this. This is the y-intercept. So without doing all that work in there, this is the point where it cuts the line on the y-axis. So once we have the gradient, we could have easily written this. All right, so let us save some time here. We find the gradient. We want the equation. So the equation is y and x stays the same. The gradient never changes. So we have negative a half, and my y-intercept is 2. Do you all see that? Do you all understand how I got that? In the equation, y equal to mx plus c. C is called the y-intercept. It is the point where the line cuts the y-axis. X and y are coordinates, and m is the gradient. All right, so let me pause here and you take down whatever you want on the screen. All right. Are you all finished? Is anyone still writing? State the gradient of L2 given they are perpendicular. So if this is L1 and it has a gradient of -1/2, to find the gradient of L2, if it is perpendicular, the gradient is the negative reciprocal of L1. So simply, we flip this fraction, so it becomes 2/1. It was negative, and we change the sign. So the gradient of L2 is 2. We flip the fraction, and we change the sign. Any questions so far? All right, let's go. June 2019. The quantity P varies inversely as the square of V. So the square of V is simply V squared. And varies inversely, it simply means it is 1/V. So therefore, P varies inversely as 1/V squared. Using the letters P, V, and K form an equation. In mathematics, we have to change this sign to an equal sign. When we do that, we have to introduce a constant K. So this becomes K multiplied by 1/V squared. Given V is equal to 3 and P is equal to 4, we need to first find K. So substitute P as 4, substitute K, we don't have K, and substitute V as 3. So therefore, 4 is equal to K/9. If we cross multiply, 4 multiplied by 9 is equal to K. K is equal to 36. So my equation becomes P is equal to 36/V squared. We want the value of V when P is 1. So 1 is equal to 36/V squared. If we cross multiply, V squared is equal to 36. So V is the square root of 36. V is equal to 6. So the proportionality questions introduces a constant of proportionality called K. And by introducing a constant of proportionality, they will give you values of the unknown so that you can find K. After you find K, the question will ask you to determine a value given one of the variables, right? So part B, part 1. So even if we didn't get part 1 and part 2 correct, there's still hope for part B. So let's see. We will separate this into 2 parts. -7 less than 3x plus 5 and 3x plus 5 is less than or equal to 7. We will separate both of the inequalities into 2. So the aim is to get x equal. So it means that I have to remove plus 5. In removing plus 5, it becomes negative. So I need to divide by 3. So -12/3 less than x. So -4 is less than x. So that is my first part. You can take it down and solve for x in the second part. So go ahead. Follow my same steps and solve for x. All right, let's go. So now I am simply going to remove positive 5. So it becomes negative. So 7 minus 5, 3x is less than or equal to 2. So I want to make x the subject, so I need to divide both sides by 3, sorry. This is going to cancel the number in front of the x. So x is less than or equal to 2/3. So we have to show it on the number line. Here is -4. Here is 2/3. So I want all the values between these 2 points. I am going to shade this dot because this is less than or equal to 2/3. This remains unshaded because it is only x is greater than -4. So when we include the equal sign in our inequality, the dot is shaded. When it's just the inequality sign without the equal sign, the dot remains unshaded. So we on to the coordinate geometry part of the question. The equation of the straight line is, we want the coordinates of Q. Q cuts the y-axis at Q. So therefore, if it cuts the y-axis, watch this. If I have a line and it cuts the y-axis, this is Q. Therefore, x is 0. And we have a y coordinate only, because on the y-axis, we only have y values. So we are going to substitute x equal to 0. So 0/3 plus y/7 is equal to 1. So therefore, this is 0 and y is equal to 1 multiplied by 7, y is equal to 7. So the coordinate of the point is 0, 7. Right? The coordinate of the point is 0, 7. So we want the gradient of this line. So we need to rewrite it as y equal to mx plus c. So I will leave the y/7 and I will carry this term across. By doing so, this becomes -x/3 plus 1. I do not want y/7, but I want y alone. So I need to multiply by 7. So I need to multiply by 7 here and multiply by 7. So y is equal to -7/3x plus 7. So this is my x and y coordinate. This is my y-intercept. And this is my gradient. The question asks for the gradient. The gradient is m is equal to -7/3. So there's a pattern. For question 4, they bring relations and functions. You have to find the inverse, you have to find composite functions, you have to find f(4), f(0), etc. They also bring coordinate geometry. You have to find gradient, you have to find the equation of a line. They bring some linear programming, and in addition to that, they bring proportionality. So that is the trend that CXC is going with. So try the questions, especially the ones that we are doing this afternoon, for practice, right? Each question has the relation, functions, and graph, and the coordinate geometry. So we have one more to do before we go to the multiple choice, right? So let's get going. We want the function is defined as, we want the value of x for which it is undefined. So we simply put the denominator equal to 0. So 5 minus x is equal to 0. X is equal to 5. So it is undefined, meaning that it does not exist when x is 5. Because 5 minus 5 is 0. And we cannot divide by 0. All right, watch this. Using the graph, determine the gradient. So I'm going to give you 2 points and you are going to do it. So the 2 points here is 5, 0, and this point here, 2, 3, 4. So 0, 4. I'm going to label it for you x1, y1, x2, y2. M is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So go ahead and try it. All right, let's see what you all have. So y2 is 4, y1 0, x2 0, x1 5. The answer here is negative 4/5. So that was the gradient. You were supposed to be able to do that. Right? Find the equation of the line. So watch this. We have the gradient. This is the y-intercept. So y equal to mx plus c. This is a coordinate. This is a coordinate. So that stays the same. So x stays the same, y stays the same. M is negative 4/5 and c is 4. So we don't want to work out anything. We just write in this. And here we would have gotten 1 mark. C is the y-intercept. It is the point where the line cuts the y-axis. So there's no need to work it out. It's 1 mark. It was given to you in the question. Find the equation of the perpendicular line. So M1 is equal to negative 4/5. So the equation or the gradient of M2, you remember I told you to flip it and change the sign. So this becomes 5/4. This is negative, so this will be positive. And we have the point P, which is 5, 0. So here we have to do some working. Y equal to mx plus c. Wherever we see y, we put in 0. 5/4 by 5 plus c. 5 5s are 25/4 plus c. So we will carry this across to make c the subject. So 25/4 negative is equal to c. So we write in my equation y equal to 5/4x minus 25/4. So here I would have scored 2 marks, I believe, right? So question 4, coordinate geometry, relation, functions, and graphs, right? So if you have to find the inverse, you have to find composite functions. Plus you have to work out f of 1, f of 0, etc. In addition to that, I just saw that they bring linear programming and they bring proportionality. So for question 4, you will have to do that. And to get some better practice, all the questions that we did today, try and do it. As well as there was one question that I didn't do, and this one is for you to practice. So it is 8 minutes past 5. We are taking a break for 10 minutes. You are to return at 18 minutes past 5, and you go straight into the multiple choice. All right? We are on a break now, and you will come back in about 9 minutes time, okay?
Hi, Miss.
All right, have you all returned? Are you all there?
Yeah, miss, I'm here.
All right. Given that 1 millimeter is 1/1000 meters, 2500 millimeters in meters. So 2500 divided by 1000, 25 divided by 10 is 2.5. The answer B. How many kilograms are there in 1 ton? There are 1000 kilograms in 1 ton. The area of the trapezium is a half the sum of the parallel sides multiplied by the height. This is the parallel side. This is the parallel side. So it is a half of 8 plus 18 multiplied by the height 5. 8 plus 18, 26. So a half of 26 multiplied by 5. 2 could go into 26 13 times. 13 by 5 is 65. The answer, B as in boy. At a party, a number of guests were served 1500 liters of champagne. A guest had 2 glasses of champagne. So, assuming there were no spillage, how many guests were there at the party? So, 15 liters is equal to 15,000 milliliters, and each guest had 150. Each glass had 150 ml, and each guest had 2 glasses. So this is 3,000. They are asking how many guests were there at the party. So each guest had 2 glasses, 15 liters, right? Assuming there were no spillage, so this is 300, right? So the number of guests will be 15,000 divided by 300, and 3 could go into 15 5 times. There were 50 persons. So if we multiply 150 by 50 by 2, we will get 15,000 ml. So the answer is 50. All right, number 35, the perimeter of a square is 56 centimeters. So perimeter is 56 cm. The length of one side, 56 divided by 4, and 56 divided by 4 is 14 cm. Area, side squared, 14 by 14, 196. The answer, D as in dog. The circumference of a circle, circumference is 156. C is 154. Pi is 22/7. They ask you to find the diameter. So circumference is pi by diameter. So 154 is equal to, divided by pi is equal to the diameter. So 154 divided by 22/7, which is 154 multiplied by 7/22. So 154 multiplied by 7/22 is equal to 49. The diameter is 49. All right, item 37. This is a repeated one. if the total area is 63, what is the value of the height? So here 7 by 7, 7 by 7 is 49. So area of the triangle is 63 minus 49. And 63 minus 49 is 14. So area of a triangle base by height over 2 is equal to 14. So base by height is equal to 14 by 2, which is 28. And the base is 7. So 7h is 28. H is 28 divided by 7. H is 4. So think about it. 7 4s are 28. 28 divided by 2 is 14. This one, you will see questions similar, but again, they change up the figures, right? Number 38, on leaving Trinidad, the time on the pilot's watch is 2300 hours. 2300 hours minus 12. So this is 11 p.m. On arriving, when he arrived at his destination, the next day it showed 300 hours. So from 11 to 12, this is 1 hour. From 12 to 1, this is another hour. 1 to 2, 1 hour. 2 to 3, another hour. It took 4 hours. Mrs. Clark arranged the 15 test scores in order of size, and she selected the 8th score. So if there are 15 scores and we have 7 on this side and 7, and she selected the 8th score, she selected the median, which is the middle. Number 40, the median mark of the 200 students. So to find the median, we simply divide 200 by 2. We are looking for the 100th value. So we go straight to the curve and straight downwards. So the median here would be 37.5, right? Let's go. If it took a speedboat 9 hours to travel, what is the average speed? Speed is distance over time. The distance 1080. The time 9 hours. 9 could go into one way 12 times. So the speed is 120. Item 32. The major arc is 40. So this part here is 40. The circumference. So if this is a 60 degree, and we have 6 60-degree angles. So here is 60, here is 60, 60, 60, 60. So therefore, this is 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. And here would be 8. So the circumference would be 48. Item 33, this is the volume of a cylinder. So if the volume of a cylinder, which is the cross-sectional area by height, the volume is 185, and the area of a circle is pi r squared multiplied by h, and r is 3, which is 6 divided by 2, because the diameter is 6. So 180 pi is equal to pi by 3 squared, which is 9. So therefore, h is 180 pi divided by 9 pi. This is going to cancel, and h is 20. I do hope that you all tried the questions before. Number 34 is the length of a triangle. So it will help if we draw a triangle. And it is an isosceles because here is 2x and here is 2x. And this is x. What is the value of x? 2x plus 2x is 4x plus 1x is equal to 20. So 5x is equal to 20. We divide by the number in front of the x. X is equal to 4. All right. Number 35. So look how the question is a little bit different. 50 guests had 2 glasses of champagne. So the number of glasses served would be 50 by 2, which is 100. Each glass held 150 milliliters. So the number of milliliters would be 100 by 150, which is 15,000. So therefore, the number of liters, we simply divide 15,000 by 1,000, and we will get 15 liters were served. A square has the same area as a rectangle. So this is a rectangle measuring 9 by 16. So here is 16 cm. This is 9. The area will be 16 by 9, which is 144. So the side of the square is the square root of 144, which is 12. Right? Number 37. We did this one already. Circumference is pi by diameter. We want to find the diameter. So we divide both sides by pi. So 154 divided by 22 over 7 is equal to the diameter. The diameter is 154 multiplied by 7 over 22. And this will give me 49. The area of a triangle is 60 cm squared. If the base is 12 cm, what is the height? So base by height over 2 is equal to 60. So 12h is equal to 120, h is equal to 10. And think about it. 12 multiplied by what number divided by 2 will give you 60, right? And the only answer is 10. Let's go. The modal mark is the number of books with the highest frequency. The highest frequency is 13. The mode is not 13, the mode is 5. The mode is the number of books with the highest frequency. So the mode is the number of books with the highest number of students. Number 40, the length. Oh, 40 is missing. All right. So the length 3,800 millimeters expressed in meters. So 1 meter is equal to 1 over 1,000 millimeters. So 3,800 millimeters is equal to 3,800 divided by 1,000, which is 3.8, right? The volume of a cube, volume side by side by side, 10 by 10 by 10, 1,000. The distance around a circular pond, so circumference is 88 meters. Circumference is 2 pi r. So the circumference is 88. We want to find for the radius, so we divide both sides by 2 pi. The radius is 88 over 2 pi. Sometimes they reduce it to 44 over pi. So you will have to read the question carefully. The volume of the cylinder, volume is pi r squared h. So volume, the radius is 3 squared pi by 8. So V is equal to 9 by 8 pi, volume 72 pi. The answer, C. Number 35, if the length of the arc here is 8, so what is the circumference of the circle? So 160-degree angle represents 8 cm. So 360 divided by 60 will give me 6. So 6 60-degree sectors will be 8 by 6, which is 48. The answer, C. So this question comes in a variety of ways. A man leaves home at 22:15 hours and he arrives at 400 hours. So think about it. From 22:15 and he reaches home at 1400. So 22:15 to 2300 hours. That is 3/4 of an hour. And the only answer with 3/4 is B. So there's no need to even work out anything. The only answer with 3/4 of an hour is B. Number 37, which of the following statements is true about the perimeter of a square and a rectangle? So here is 12 and here is 12. So this is 48. Here is 9 and here is 16. So this is 50. So the perimeter of the square is less than the perimeter of the rectangle. So the answer here is B. The perimeter of A is less than the perimeter of B. Right? Number 38, the height of the triangle is 4 meters. What is the total area? So 5 by 5, here is 25. This will be 5 by 4 divided by 2. 2 we're going to 4 2 times. This is 10. 25 and 10. The answer is 35. Number 39, the modal age. It is the one with the highest number of students. The tallest bar, this is the mode. So the mode, they ask for the modal age. So please don't put 5. We're looking at the age column. The modal age is 7. How many children took part in the survey? 3 and 4, 7, and 2, 9, and 5, 14, and 1, 15. All right? So let's go. You have a couple minutes. Try those 2 questions. So the 2 is a repeat. So try those 2 and we will continue. All right, let's go. The volume of a cube whose edge is 6 cm, volume side by side by side, 6 by 6 by 6, which is 216. I do hope that you all got that. What is the average speed? The formula for speed is distance over time. 1080 divided by 9, 120. The answer is C. Number 33, 2500 divided by 1000 is 2.5. The answer is B. An aircraft leaves 1600 and arrives at 1930 hours. So the time, it is 3.5 from 1600 to 1930. You all could check it. It's 3.5 hours. They want the distance. So speed is distance over time. So distance is speed multiplied by time. So the average speed is 550 kilometers. So 550 multiplied by 3 2s are 6 and 1, 7 over 2. 2 could go into 550 275 times. And when you multiply it, you are going to get 925. The answer, D as in dog. So in a rectangular plot measuring 15 by 12, so 15 meters by 12 meters, and we have a small portion here which is 80 meters, not this is 80, right? What is the area that is not being used? Well, the area of the whole plot is 15 by 12, and 15 multiplied by 12 is 180. So if 80 meters squared is being used and the total was 180, therefore the unused part is 100. The distance around a lake is 8 kilometers. So 2 cm is equal to 8 kilometers. So we have to change kilometers to centimeters. So kilo to meters, we multiply by 1000, and from meters to centimeters, we multiply by 100. So 2 cm is equal to 800,000 centimeters. So 1 cm we divide by 2 will be 400,000. The answer, D as in dog. Number 37, the volume of a cuboid. Volume of any solid cross-sectional area by height. The volume is 320 and the height is 5. So we can substitute h as 5. So we divide both sides by 5. So A is equal to 64. The length of one side of the base. So side is equal to the square root of 64, which is 8. And when you multiply 8 by 8, you will get 64 by 5, you will get 320, which is the volume of the solid. Number 38, a square has the same area as a rectangle. We did this one already. The answer is 12. The median of the numbers. So we will cross it as long as the numbers are in numerical order. So the median is 6.5. 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. And we want the lower class boundary of the interval. So 3 to 5, this is called the lower class limit. This is called the upper class limit. So the lower class boundary is the lower class limit minus 0.5. So 3 minus 0.5 is equal to 2.5. The answer is B. June 2019. This one we did already. The answer is 2.5. The area of AOB, area of the sector, is equal to the angle over 360 multiplied by pi r squared. Here the angle is 60. So 60 divided by 360 multiplied by pi r squared. So this is 1/6 pi r squared. The answer, A as in apple. The volume of a cube whose edge is 3 cm. So side by side by side is volume 3 by 3, 9 by 3, 27. Number 34, the perimeter of a square is 48. This is the square. The perimeter is 48. So the length of one side will be 48 divided by 4, which is 12. Area, side squared, 12 squared, which is 144. Which of the following figures not drawn to scale has an area? So this is the area of a trapezium. 5 and 4 needs to be the dimensions or the lengths of the parallel sides. And 2 is the height. So the only answer that matches is D. 4 and 5 is the parallel sides, and H is 2. All right. Number 36, the area of a rectangle is 53.6. If the length is multiplied by 4, so let's follow it. Area, length by width. This is 53.6. The length, we multiply that by 4, and the width, we multiply this by a half. This is going to cancel. So this is 2 LW. So 1 LW is 53.6. So 2 LW will be 2 by 53.6, which is 107.2. Number 37, we did this already. This is a repeat. This one as well. So you can look over that. What is the modal age? The bar with the highest frequency. And this one, the median mark, 37.5. So this is where it's 100, comes straight down, and this is 37.5. All right. So this one was in last year. Yes. All right. So you are going to do this one for me. Let's go. We still have some time. All 3 questions are repeated. So see if you can remember the answers. So take about 5 minutes to do those 3. All right, does everybody have the questions on WhatsApp? Do you all have the questions on WhatsApp, the last set of questions?
Yes, Miss.
All right, so I'm going to put you in breakout rooms for the next couple minutes. You are going to communicate with the person in your group and you are doing all the questions, numbers 31 to 40. All right, so I will pull you all back at 5:58 and we will correct them. All right. All right. Were you all able to finish your questions?
Yeah, miss.
All right. So number 31, the perimeter of A is less than the perimeter of B, because the perimeter of A is 48 and the perimeter of B is 50. Now in a question before, the answer was B, but this time the response has shifted to D. Number 32, 3800 milliliters is 3.8. Number 33, the radius, 88 over 2 pi. Number 34, the total area, well, the area of the triangle is 10, the area of the square is 25, 25 and 10, 35. Number 36, the volume of the cube side by side, 27, 36, 107.2, 37, 4, 38, 65, 39, the modal age 7. How many children took part in the survey? 15. I do hope that you all scored more than 6. Did you all get more than 6 out of 10?
I had 7, miss.
Very good. So it takes a little bit of a practice. We need to be competent and we need, very good. We need to ensure that we have the multiple choice in order. Is there anybody in the class who is not accessing the Google Classroom before we go?